Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, as George Jones would say, it is finally Friday, and that can only mean one thing. It is a Husky game day today, and tonight your NIU Huskies are taking on the Jamestown Jimmies. Jamestown Jimmies are coming all the way from North Dakota, about an 18-hour bus ride. I believe they endured only today, strictly today, so good for them. Thank you all for tuning in with us on this Friday evening we have here. And I think we got great potential for quite an interesting game today. We got the Jamestown Jimmies in all black tonight, and the Huskies in the all white. See them all skating around. Already had their warm-ups if you're just tuning in now. We got both teams lining up on each side of the ice. Tonight, your Jamestown Jimmies is being led by head coach Dean Stork, and your NIU Huskies are being led by head coach Brad Stofers, assistant coach Wayne Bauer, assistant coach Jeremy Bauer, and last but not least, your third assistant coach, Zach Bishop. Been making huge waves in the team and have been seeing some crazy improvement just over winter break alone. Got both teams lining up here tonight. Your starting lineup for the Jamestown Jimmies are Brandon Weir, sitting in net, sitting in between the pipes. Defense, Greg Sulinski wearing number 27, and Justin Dumont wearing number 5. Wing pair, Brad Fortin wearing number 9, and Carter Johnson wearing number 6. And last but not least, taking the face-off for the Jimmies are Cole Christensen wearing number 18. And for the Skis tonight, you got Ben Vucci wearing number 75, sitting in between the pipes for the Huskies. Austin Walney and Luke Marks sitting on defense. Wing pair, Alec Porzondak, Jay Clement, sitting as a wing pair. And last but not least, who took the face-off at center ice a couple ago, we have Nick Gonzalez. First period is already underway. Huskies are sitting down in the Jimmy zone currently as the Jimmies turn around, start to break out. Puck goes right on the stick of Austin Walney as he passes that up to Gonzalez for a quick chip in deep into the Jimmy zone. Again, puck gets turned right back over down into the Husky zone as Evans passes it back to Bry. Bry passes it up to Wall. Goes for a trip off the boards and a nice keep in there by the Jimmies. Pop off, passes it back down deep into the Husky zone. Pass it right back up to the point. Going for a quick shot. Redirected by Pathana. Again, the Jimmies keeping it up high, bringing it down low, no doubt, back down deep into the Husky zone. The Huskies are able to get a touch on it, and Pathana brings it out of the Husky zone. Pathana bringing it down deep into the Jimmy zone now, goes for a backhanded shot, misses the net high. Urzuko passing it back, and unfortunately goes back right into the stick of the Jimmies. Again, the Jimmies do a quick breakout. Bergen bringing it in, going for a quick shot, and blocked by Marks. Not letting it get by him, not letting it get to the net. Good, Martin get it up to the point there. Nice block there by Martin, catching it out of the air. Waited laid off the sides there and a quick whistle by the ref. But again, Martin with the shot block, popping it straight up, catching his hand and dropping it to his own stick, getting it out of the zone. Now letting the Huskies get a couple of fresh legs out there. 18-14 remaining in the first period. Taking the face off, we got Martin sitting between Gieske and Weitzel. Jimmy's winning the face-off and quickly dump it down deep into the Husky zone, getting a shot on net for another quick whistle. Face-off's being dropped down in the Husky zone. Stay inside. Coming from North Dakota, unfortunately, the Jimmies don't have many fans here in the section, but I hope a great number of you sitting here watching live are tuning in from North Dakota. I welcome you guys to watch Jimmy's face off against the Huskies. Jimmy's are able to get it down deep into the Husky zone, passing it behind the neck over to Bry. Bry up to Gieske, jumping over a stick, going on the stick of Dumont, who puts it down deep into the Husky zone. Again, Walney behind the Husky net. Walney looking for that open pass it in front of the net over to Bry. Fry goes off the boards over to Gonzalez with a quick step up there by Crum. Going back on the stick of Gieske. Gieske puts it up the board, stopped by Crum, keeping it down deep in the Husky zone. Quick stop and turnaround by Walney, giving him a little bit of room as he tries to make a play with it. Walney running around up on the stick of Dumont. Dumont getting it back down deep in the Husky zone. Walney back in the Husky corner. Receiving a little bit of pressure, tries to go off the boards, and it is stopped by the Jimmies. Getting a lot of back and forth here, no clear possession. Jimmies get it up on the point. Goes for a quick shot and a nice save by Vucci, going right into the glove. With 16:56 remaining here in the first period. Mr. Craig McDonald, thank you for tuning in with us from Manitoba. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Evans goes up the boards, goes right onto the stick of one of the Jimmies, getting it back down deep in the Husky zone. Anderson get a nice chip through center ice out of the Husky zone, unfortunately turning into an icing. The puck being dropped back down in the Husky zone. Again, last week when we're coming off a Husky win on Saturday, hopefully we can carry some of that momentum onto today's game. I know we had a lot of high hopes coming in today. Nick Gonzalez taking the face-off for the Huskies, down in the Husky zone. Puck is dropped, and the puck gets chipped up to the Jimmies. Quick attempted backhanded shot, stopped by Evans, and carried out by Porzondek. Porzondek getting back down deep into the Jimmy zone. Quick pass around by the goalie, and a nice stop there by Gonzalez, blocking the pass. And a good hit there by Evans. And a nice step up there by Anderson, not letting the Jimmies keep clean possession. And the puck gets carried around by the Jimmies. With Johnson, a nice chip in down deep in the Husky zone. Lonely picking it up on the hash marks. Quickly stopped by the Jimmies, getting turned back deep behind the Husky net. Marks carries it up the boards. A nice deke there. Tries to put through the feet of Christensen. Able to get it out, but dumped back in by Fortin. Wall passing up to Rizzuko. Rizzuko with a quick shot. Nice dump on net. And going back to the corner to pick it up. Rizzuko quick deep, put it in the slot where only the Jimmies are as they carry the puck right back out of the zone and into the Husky zone. Quick shot by the Jimmies, going right into the chest of Vucci. Almost getting that rebound, but he's able to get a glove on it, causing another stop of play, another whistle. Miss Julia Dorr, watching from Victoria, BC in Canada. Thank you again for tuning in. Looking at the roster here, we got a lot of the guys here from Canada. A surprising amount, I'd say almost over half the team, which makes sense coming from North Dakota. A bit of a change-up against the guys the Huskies play. Jimmies are able to get it back down deep into the Husky zone as they carry behind the net, receiving a little bit of pressure from the Huskies. Evans able to get it off the boards up to Gieske. Quick back check there by Venn. Put it back onto the stick of the Huskies. Able to get it back down deep into the Jimmy zone. McDonald with a quick deke there, pass on it right up. Giving Jimmy's a quick shot and a nice save by Vucci. Weitzel carrying it back out of the Husky zone, putting it off the boards back down deep in the Jimmy's zone. Jimmy's goalie puts it back over, put it over to Thompson. Thompson's quick dump in back down deep in the Husky zone. Jimmy's get it up on the point. Quick chip off the boards, keeping it in the Husky zone. Gonzalez there fighting the boards, actually getting it out of the Husky zone. And an offsides against Thompson for the Jimmies, causing a quick stoppage of play. Puck's being dropped just outside of the Jimmies zone, right in front of the Jimmies bench. Nick Gonzalez taking the face-off against Crom. Gonzalez with a nice win on the face-off, but unfortunately gets chipped into the net above the glass for another quick stoppage of play. Puck being dropped back again in the same place, just outside of the Jimmy zone. Nick Gonzalez taking the face-off against Crum. Nick Gonzalez really tying up Crowner, but Crowner's able to get it back to his defense. As the forwards spread throughout the neutral zone, able to get a quick chip in down deep in the Husky zone. Only picking it up in the corner, receiving a little bit of pressure. Puck goes up to the point for a quick one-timer. Right on net. Right into the chest of Vucci for a nice save. Get Jimmy's pass under right in front of the net, where Clement is able to pick off the pass. Pass over for Zondak and get it right back. Clement carries into the zone, goes for a quick pass through the slot to be stopped by the Jimmy's defense. Marks pass over to Evans with a one-touch pass over to Pathana. Evans quick step up, putting Wilson, carrying it through center ice for a quick shot, and a Jimmy goal, making this game 0-1. Had a nice play there by the Jimmies, carrying it through center ice, sneaking right under Vucci's glove. Get a couple fresh legs out for the Jimmies as the Huskies are keeping the same people on. Yeah, Pathana is taking the face off against Christensen. The puck is dropped in the first period, is back underway. Huskies win that face-off. Go for a quick dump in to the Jimmy zone, but it is quickly stopped by Jimmy's defense and put back down deep into the Husky zone. Johnson picks it up behind the net, pass that up to the point. Jimmy's put it back down deep behind the Husky net and back up to the point on the other side. Again, a lot of back and forth passing behind. Then I go for a quick wraparound, and Vucci is able to get a quick cover on it, causing another stoppage of play. Jimmies are doing a great job right now keeping it in the Husky zone. Huskies are having a little bit of trouble getting across that blue line with a clean play. Hopefully that'll change up a little bit here as the Huskies are only down by 1 goal. Got just under 13 minutes here remaining in the first period. Martin taking the face off against Hooklock. Puck is dropped, and the Jimmies win the face-off. Quick shot on net, right off the pad of Vucci. Backdoor shot is saved, putting the puck back down in the corner. Weitzel rushing up to the point. Jimmies pass it back down, go for another quick shot, and another great save there by Vucci. Walney picking it up down the corner. Shooting it off the glass to get out of the Husky zone. Jimmy's carrying it back in, 3-on-2, goes for a pass up to the point. Sawinski pass on across his D partner, gets it right back. Shoots, redirected, but Vucci's able to still get a pad on it. With another great save. Sawinski again passing over to his D partner. Goes for the backdoor pass and a great save by Vucci. Gieski's able to chip it off the boards, getting it out of the zone. But the Jimmies quickly regain possession back in the neutral ice. Lessard is able to get it back onto Walney's stick down deep in the Husky zone. Quick pass off the boards, goes back right onto the Mount stick. Anderson stepping up, getting back into the Jimmy zone. Quick pass across center ice, back onto the stick of Evans as he just jumps out of the bench there. Quick 1-2 passes, goes for a quick shot, almost backdoor shot, redirected by Gonzalez after that quick back check there. Puck goes back up to the point for another save, redirected away from the net. Clement bringing it out of the Husky zone, get it back down deep into the Jimmy zone. Ware able to step behind the net, pass it up to the defense. Jimmy's quickly carrying it back in. McDonald for a quick shot and a nice save by Vucci. Again, the puck dropping right back down to the corners. Clement gets it on the hash marks. Evans picking it back up, passing it across to his partner, Bry. Bry going off the boards. Passing it up on a pop-off stick, who quickly gets it right back into the Husky zone. Again, Huskies in possession down the Husky zone. Quick chip off the boards, back onto the stick of the Jimmies. Bry gets the puck, goes for an attempted dump in, but Popoff's able to knock it down, putting it right back in their possession as they turn the puck down into the Husky zone. Marks picking it up down behind the Husky net. We got a quick whistle there. Had a bit of a delayed icing call. Putting the puck all the way back down into the Jimmy zone. Puck's being dropped back down to the Jimmy zone bench side with Pathana taking the face-off. Pathana with a nice face-off win there, pass it up to Marks. Marks steps in, goes for a quick shot, barely missing the net to the left. Takes a weird bounce off the back of the net. Got Pathana really digging for it behind the net there. And Wall stepping up, giving him a little bit of support. Jimmy's come out on top and break the puck out of the zone, causing a 3-on-1. Quick pass right in front of the net, and a quick save by Vucci, not letting that puck get by him. The puck just as quickly leaves the Husky zone. Get almost full line change here for the Huskies as the puck's down deep into the Jimmy zone. Crom gets a pass from his defense, goes for a quick dump in down deep in the Husky zone. Thompson down the corner goes for an attempted pass, redirected by the Huskies, and is quickly picked back up. Dumont passing it down to Wilson. Wilson's able to chip it down on Martin's stick. Martin over to Weitzel, and Weitzel through center ice back into the possession of the Jimmies. Puck gets dumped back down deep in the Husky zone where Evans picks it up, looks up for that open pass, passed up to Gieske. Gieske with a one-touch pass, attempted one-touch pass, going on to Fortin's stick. Again, Walney holding it behind the net. Goes off the glass, able to get it into the neutral zone. Quick missed pass. Put it back into Jimmy's possession. An attempted backdoor pass missed, causing an incomplete shot. And quickly the Jimmies are able to put a quick shot from the point, missing the net high. Dumont getting it back down deep into the Husky zone, putting it on the stick of Christensen down the corner. Christensen for a quick shot, hitting the side of the net, barely missing it. Johnson pass on it to Dumont. Dumont quickly gets it back down deep in the Husky zone. Pass across the slot and redirected, causing another Jamestown goal, making this a 0-2 game. Again, last time the Huskies played them was in North Dakota, and I believe the first game Huskies lost 1-5, and the second game was 1-7. Hopefully we can change it up here a little bit and sneak a couple goals in before the end of the first period. We got just about 8.5 minutes remaining here in the first period. Quick pass gets wrapped around over to Porzondak's stick. Porzondak goes to get it out of the zone, gets redirected by one of the Jimmies, putting it above the glass for another out of play whistle. Jimmy's got a quick shot off the point, giving the Jimmies another goal, making this a 0-3 game. Had a quick play there with the center sitting there for the Jimmies, passing it right back off the draw for a quick shot on net. Other than that, Vucci is playing a great game. There is multiple shots he is stopping, spinning on his head a little bit. And once this period is over, I'll give you guys a shot total. Again, the puck's dropped at center ice, and Jimmy's are able to get it down deep into the Husky zone. Nice pressure there by Pathana. Really grinding down in the corner there. Is able to get it back out. Just quickly dump back deep into the Husky zone, but giving the Huskies a little bit of time for a breakout. Wall gets it up from Anderson. Passes it up off the boards, getting it back out into the zone. Jamestown quickly carries it right back in. Goes for another backdoor pass. Barely missed. With Jimmy still in possession of the puck. Wall is able to get the puck on the hash marks. Pass off the boards over to Zuko. Zuko, backhanded pass back into Jamestown's possession. Fuji stepping out, stopping the puck behind the net for Anderson. Anderson holding the puck behind the net, looking up for that open pass. As this begins to get some spin behind him. Backhanded pass over to Gieske. Gieske chipping off the boards back down deep in the Jimmy zone. Ware is able to again step behind the net, pass it up to his own defense as Jimmies begin their breakout. pass through center ice, puts on the Wilson's stick, and he's able to get a quick chip in, again to the Husky zone. Only to backhand pass into the other corner. Jimmy's able to pick it off, and another picked off pass by Evans. Evans able to get it out of the Husky zone with a nice step up by Dumont, dumping it back down deep into the zone. Only with quick pass takes a weird bounce over the Jimmy's stick, able to get out of the Husky zone, but Jimmy's are able to quickly carry it back in. Pass over to Thompson. Thompson passing into the slot, where sadly no one is there, but Dumont gets it up on the point, and it barely sneaks across the blue line, getting out of the Husky zone. Sawinski set him up, bring it back down into the Husky zone, just across the blue line. Pass it back to Fortin. Fortin passed it up for another quick shot. Barely missed. We got the Huskies with a delayed penalty here. Christensen, another quick shot. Redirected away from the net by the Huskies, but still no whistle. Jimmy's hold it back down in the corner as Evans able to get a touch on it. And finally, a whistle, giving the Huskies a penalty kill. We got a holding against Weissel, putting up 2 minutes on the clock with 6 minutes and 1 second remaining here in the first period. Again, Husky penalty kill here. Bafana taking the face off down to the Husky zone. Quick attempted dump by Marks there, puts it right in the stick of Clark. Clark passes across the D partner for another quick shot, redirected away from the net. Bry going off the boards again. It's the Jimmy's defense, keeping it down in the Husky zone. Eric Chook passing it back up to Clark. Clark for a quick shot, barely missing the net to the left. See a stick go flying. One of the Jimmy sticks went flying up in the air. Don't know how that happened, but Clark's able to get the puck back up on the point. Pass over to Eric Chook. Eric Chook back to Clark. Clark over to Wilson. Wilson puts it behind the net, and Eric Chook gets it back up on the point. Goes for a pass back door over to Wilson. Wilson back to Clark. Clark back to Eric Chook, playing a little bit of game patsy here. Another quick shot. Bounces off the glove of Vucci. You see already a fight breaking out here in front of the net, as Berggren went to go jab the goalie after the whistle. Yeah, has all the Huskies quickly crowd him as Vucci got jabbed at. That just knocked about 45 seconds off the Husky penalty kill, keeping the score 0-3. Gonzalez taking the face off against Venn. Sawinski gets the puck up on the point, goes for another quick shot, and a nice goal just right inside the left post, sneaking right under Vucci's blocker. Making this a 0-4 game for the Jimmies. Again, thanks for all you guys for tuning in with us here tonight. A lot of you guys from North Dakota, it seems. Assuming, I don't know how many of you guys would want to make that 18-hour drive out to here. There are a couple people in the stands who looks like they did, and we appreciate that. We also appreciate all your guys' support via YouTube Live. Another quick shot on Vucci, puts it right into his glove. We got just over 5 minutes here remaining on the clock, 5 minutes and 2 seconds. With the Jimmies up 0-4. Jimmies quickly win the faceoff again, getting right back up to the point. Quick pass across over to the stick of Cornell. Cornell for a quick shot, redirected away from the net by the Huskies. Again, another quick shot on net, right into Vucci's glove, sneaks under his glove, but is luckily not a goal, barely just missed the goal to the left. We had a delayed icings there called off by the ref as it did not reach the blue line. Nice step up there by Evans, not letting Fortin get into the Husky zone. Again, really see Evans putting in the work here, not letting the Jimmies carry it down in the Husky zone, stepping up, making smart pinches. Jimmies are able to dump it down into the Husky zone. The Huskies plenty of time to begin their breakout. Gonzalez chips it over to Hooklack. Hooklack's able to pick off that pass. and get it back down deep in the Husky zone. Pop off, quick attempted shot, nice block by Porzondek. Lessard carried it back behind the Huskies net. And a nice redirect by Anderson. Anderson passing it up to Clement. Clement chipping it down deep in the Jimmy zone. Pop off, chipping it off the boards for his D partner. Over to Bergen. Bergen carrying it down to the Husky zone with no one in front of him. Another quick shot, and a nice save by Vucci. Again, the puck flies through the slot with no one there to chip it, but Popoff's able to get it up on the point. Popoff passing over to his D partner for another quick shot, and blocked by Anderson as he dodged it over everyone's heads. And a missed pass puts on the stick Rizzuko. Rizzuko puts it in the slot. Unfortunately, no Husky there to get the backdoor pass. Clark picking it up behind the net, passing it back behind the net to his D partner. Jimmies begin their breakout slowly but surely. Pop off a quick dump in down to deep Husky zone as Vucci stops it behind the net for Walney. Walney pass it behind his back over to Marks and up to Wall. Again, quick pick off there by the Jimmies. Put it back in their possession. Jimmies come out on top after a little scramble there. Thompson passing over to DeMont. DeMont with a quick shot. And it does not reach the net after a nice jump in front of the puck there by the Huskies. Called off icing, put it back down deep into the Jimmy zone, but it's quickly turned around as Sawinski carries it through center ice. And a whistle on Walney and a penalty for a trip. As only had a attempted step up there, unfortunately, catching the feet of Sawinski. Got a 2-minute penalty against the Huskies with 2:24 remaining in the first period. Puck's being dropped back down deep in the Huskies zone, with Venn taking the face-off against Gonzalez, bench side. Face-off is won by the Jimmies, put it right back up to the point. Quick pass back and forth, goes right up back to the point. Sawinski with a one-timer, right into the glove of Vucci for another quick whistle. Again, puck's being dropped back down in the same spots with Martin taking the face-off. And we got Bry back on defense. Hopefully ice that puck out, get it back out. Sawinski gets the puck back up on the point. Passes back down the hash marks, receive it right back. Carried across the blue line. Pass it back down deep, gets the puck right back. Again, dropping it down to the hash marks. As the Huskies are running a great diamond here. And only letting shots get from the outside as we get Vucci with another great save. We're able to run off 30 seconds off the clock. So only got a minute 31 left on the Husky penalty. Martin taking the face-off in the same spot against Hucklack for the Jimmies. Jimmies win the face-off. Get it back up on the point. Quick pass backdoor, barely miss. With Porzondek stepping up, putting a little bit of pressure there. But Jimmies keep possession of the puck. Quick shot, or quick pass from Clark, pass over to his partner as he carries it in and into the Husky goal, making this a 0-5 game for the Jimmies. Yeah, as Andy Steer, once the first period end, I'll be able to run that through that with you guys as the box was able to shoot up the shots of both teams and the scores and assists. So I'll get that right to you at the end of the first. Thank all you guys for commenting and being active there in the chat box. Appreciate all your guys' tips and help. Fortin carries it down deep in the Husky zone. Keeps possession as he brings behind the Husky net. Quick drop pass between each other, so they receive a lot of pressure from the Jimmies. Attempted wraparound there, stopped by Vucci, and a loose puck in front of the net still. Fortin's able to dump it back down deep as Jimmies pick it back up behind the Husky net. Again, a lot in the corner there. Puck's able to get up to Cornell. Cornell with attempted pass, or attempted shot, redirected away from the net back in the Husky corner. Cornell with a quick shot and a redirect, barely missing the post to the right by about 2 inches. Puck's able to get quickly dumped right back out. It is back to even man play, 5-on-5 hockey. Nice chip in there by Fortin, putting on the stick of Evans. Evans off the boards over to Walney. Walney over to Rizuko, who puts it off the boards, getting it out of the Husky zone. Ref got in the way a little bit, not letting the Jimmies carry it in. Quick turnaround by Walney, or by the Huskies, as they get it down deep with just 15 seconds remaining up on the clock. Got a one-on-one coming out here with Pathana back checking against McDonald. Nice redirect away from the back checker by Pathana. A quick dive there by Rizuko. Not letting get the shot off. Still does get a shot off, and a quick save by Vucci as the final buzzer sounds for the end of the first. Huskies down 0-5. Got an active goalie for the Jimmies. He's been stepping out, making a lot of plays, able to pass it up to the defense, giving them a lot of extra time on the breakout. Waiting on here, the shots for you guys. Once I get it, I'll unmute myself. But until then, we'll see you guys back in about 15 minutes for the start of the second period. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the start of the second period. Mr. Nicholas Bowers, thanks for throwing all those goals and assists in there. I just got the text message over from the people in the box with that same information. So if you're curious on the Jamestown goals and assists, you can go check out the chat right there. We got the Huskies and Jamestown just hopping back on their benches. Tonight, one of the big things I noticed, he got Ware, Jamestown goalie. He's a very active goalie, jumping out a lot, and he's cutting down on a lot of the time in their zone by passing up to the defense as they're crossing the blue line. So good for him on that. He's skating around over there down in his zone as he's prepping up for the second period. With that period, Huskies ending with 2 shots the entire first period in the Jamestown Jimmies, and at a 28. Jimmies quickly go back into Husky, carry back into the Husky zone. Keeping as we had another quick delayed penalty on the Huskies here, third one of the night. Swinsky's got it up on the point. A great shot on net, another save by Vucci. We got a trip again on the Huskies for, again, a third penalty. The first 2 tonight, we had Weitzel with a hold and Walney with a trip, both of which Jimmy's were able to get a couple of nice goals on. We got Clement going in the box for that trip when the Huskies back on another penalty kill. Gonzalez taking the face-off against Hucklack. Hucklack's able to win it back to his defense up on the point. Clark gets the puck, pass over to Wilson, back to Clark. Clark for another quick shot. Redirected by Evans, not letting it get to the net. Walney, attempted backhanded shot out of there, knocked out of the air. Porzondak quickly comes across, but unfortunately, Jamestown's able to pick it right back off. Kirstensen carrying it down deep in the Husky zone. As Porzondak's able to get it deep back into the Jimmy zone with a nice icing. Ware again stepping out, passing up to neutral ice. Not having the need for Jamestown to come deep. Wilson carrying it in deep, wrapping it behind the net. Goes for a quick pass into the slot and a quick shot. Another great save by Vucci. Sawinski getting the puck back down in the Jamestown zone and quickly carrying it right back out. Fortin crossing the Husky blue line. Stops on the point, passing it over to Sawinski. Sawinski with a quick shot, barely missing that to the left. Takes a weird bounce and goes back into the Jimmy's possession. Another quick shot on net, getting it redirected away from the net by Jamestown. And a quick leave of the zone, hopefully giving the Huskies a little bit of time to set up again. Fortin carrying it back into the Husky zone, passing it back to McDonald. McDonald passing it across the ice, or to the wing partner, as he goes for a quick shot on net. Gets the puck right back from the point. And a nice save there, and a nice rebound save by Vucci. Again, another pass up to neutralize by Ware, not having the Jamestown defense going deep. Fortin gets it, goes for a backdoor pass, redirected by the Huskies. And a nice knock out of the air there by Jamestown, causing this to be a 0-6 game. Again, Jamestown coming off quick off the Husky penalty, giving them the one-man advantage. Again, 3 Husky penalties and 3 Jamestown goals. Puck's back at center ice and dropped. And Huskies are able to win it back. Putting it on the stick of Gieske as he gets it deep down into the Jimmy zone. Nice step up by Martz. Letting Martin come and pick it off. Putting it back down deep into the Jimmy zone. Clark passing up to Lessard. Lessard putting it off the boards up to Hucklack. Missed, goes on the stick of Bry, who goes right back down deep into the Jimmy zone. Clark passing over to his D partner as he passes the board off the boards with Lessard, and a quick step up by Weitzel as Hucklack's still able to carry it back down deep in to Jimmy's zone. Another backdoor pass, barely missed the net. Missed the left post by about 2 inches. Another shot barely missed high, and another shot and goal called off after the net bounces off the pegs, as it did just before the puck slid by Vucci into the net, keeping this a 0-6 game. Just shy of 3 minutes into this period with 17:08 remaining up on the clock. Got Martin taking the face-off for the Huskies. Puck quickly goes back up to Popoff. Popoff passing it back down deep. Puck gets carried back up to the point as Wilson puts it behind the net. Nice step there by Bry, putting it off the boards, getting it out of the Husky zone. Delayed offsides here, giving the Huskies a little bit of time in the downland zone. Marks pass it off the boards back into the possession of the Jimmies. Cron brings it back down by his own blue line, passing it up. Marks with a great step up there, not letting the Jimmies enter the Husky zone. Forcing them to dump it deep with Vucci stopping behind the net. Vucci steps up, passing it to Porzondek. Porzondek picks it off the boards, and Cron picks it up. Cron passing it back down, back into Jimmy's defense. Quick pass over to Volcano. Volcano dumping it down deep in the Husky zone. Porzondek picks up a missed pass to the slot. A quick deke there, passing across back on to the stick of Wilson. Wilson on another deke, giving Thompson a breakaway. Thompson passes it back to Wilson. And a nice back check there by the Huskies, stopping that breakaway. We got Evans racing back as Ware passes across slot on the Clement stick. Clement puts it back down to the corner as Fortin picks it up behind the net. And again, quickly carries it back into the Husky zone. Fortin going in front of the net, goes for a quick shot, and a nice save by Vucci as he covers it after bouncing off his pad. Again, after just 28 shots, only in the first period, Vucci's playing a great game so far, spinning on his head, keeping the score down on the scoreboard. Christensen taking the face-off against Pathana, down in the Husky zone, bench side. Puck gets carried out by Rizzuko, and a quick step up there by Dumont, but putting it back in the Huskies' possession. Again, Ware passing it over to Dumont behind the net as Dumont chips it off the boards, and it get over to Christensen. Christensen goes to carry it down the Husky zone, and I stopped there by Wall, knocking it off the stick, getting it back in the neutral zone. Again, Jamestown carries it into the Husky zone, so we see a little bit of pressure down in the corner. Pathana putting pressure up in the hash marks. The puck goes up to the point for a quick shot, missing the net far to the right. Fortin pass it off the boards over to Swinski. Swinski for a quick shot off the left post and into the net, making this a 0-7 game for the Jimmies. Again, the Jimmies really outplaying the Huskies so far this game, playing a great game, setting up well. And I think a lot of it, like I said earlier, has got to do with their goalie. Taking a lot of time off when they don't have to skate down, the defense don't have to skate down deep into the zone. He's able to step up and consistently play the puck. Even when he's receiving pressure down in the corner and behind the net, he's still able to make that play. Berenson able to get it into the Husky zone. The Huskies again breaking it out. Bry picks it up on his own blue line as he passes it over to Walney. Walney passes or goes to shoot it into the Husky zone. It goes off the stick of Martin, back end of Ven's stick. Ven into the Husky zone, passing the back door, and a missed backdoor pass. The Popoff quickly comes in, is able to get a shot off. And Clark gets it up on the point. Clark with a quick shot, redirected away from the net by the Jimmies. Again, Jimmies in possession down in the Husky zone, going for a shot on net, redirected over the net by the Huskies into the net above the glass for an out-of-play whistle. Again, the Huskies getting some fresh legs out there. We got Hucklack taking the face-off down in the Husky zone for the Jimmies, and Gonzalez taking the face-off for the Huskies. Hucklack, when it's back to the point, goes for an attempted shot, takes a weird bounce over a stick, putting the neck down in the corner. Again, Lessard picking up down the corner, pass it up to Airtruck. Airtruck back to Lessard. Lessard goes for a quick shot, redirected away from the net by the Huskies. Airtruck picking it up on the point, giving himself a little bit of room, goes for a shot on net, knocked out of the air by Marks. Porzondek holding the puck down on the hash marks, giving himself a little bit of room. Porzondek goes for a pass, and it is blocked by the Jimmies, keeping it down in the Husky zone. Clement picks up another missed pass by the Jimmies. Pass over to Porzondek. Porzondek goes for a quick deke, picked off by Erchuk. Erchuk pass it up to Hucklack. Pass it across the ice. Quick backdoor pass, attempted backdoor pass over to Lessard. Is picked off by Evans as he turns around and carries it back into the Jimmy zone. Nice stop there by the Jimmy's defense. Quickly again turn around and an icing here against the Jimmies, putting the puck all the way back down into the Jimmy's zone. Pisana taking the face off. We got the puck being dropped here. Stay inside. Seems to be a bit of confusion there as the Jimmies figure out who's actually going to take the face off for him. Puck's won by the Jimmies. Off the glass by the Jimmies defense as Lessard races down into the Husky zone. Only it's a nice fake chip there, giving him a little bit more room. Pass it across the ice. Anderson to Pisana. Pisana again carrying across the blue line, goes for a quick shot right into Ware's glove. Calls in for another quick whistle. Got 12:53 remaining on the clock for the second period. Again, puck being dropped back down in the same spot, with Pisana taking the face-off down in the Jimmy zone. Pisana wins the face-off back to Anderson. Anderson's able to get back down deep in the Jimmy zone. DeMont passing across to his D partner as another quick attempted breakout. Thompson wants to go off the boards there, and it was redirected into the Husky bench by Walney. And now the puck's being dropped just outside of the Jimmy zone, right in front of the Huskies bench. Jimmies win the face-off on it back. Sawinski carries it across the red line and dumps it down deep into the Husky zone. Fucci stopping the puck for Walney as he puts it up the boards over to Rizzuko. Rizzuko barely misses the pass, putting it right into the stick. Jimmy's defense goes for a quick shot and nice block by Colwell. Again, puck goes back down deep into the Jimmy zone as it's getting broken out again. Wilson goes through center ice. Receiving a little bit of pressure from the Huskies. But he's still able to keep it off. Passing it over to Crom for a quick chip in down deep in the Husky zone. Anderson picks it up. Quick pass across over to Martin. Martin, quick shot on net. Nice save by Ware. And a pass behind the Jimmy's net. Puts a pile of guys there in the hash marks, and Popoff's able to come off on top. Popoff starting to get some speed behind him as he goes for a quick deep. He goes on the stick of Weitzel. Weitzel putting it back down deep into the Jimmy zone. The chip into center ice, puts it on the stick of Marks and over to Evans. Off the boards by Weitzel, puts on the stick of Martin as he gets quick back around. Wilson with a shot off the Husky crossbar there, puts it back in the Huskies' possession, with Evans skating up on the boards, taking the hit. Martin goes for a quick shot, redirected away from the net by Clark. Again, the Jimmies quickly break it back out of their own zone. Christensen carrying it into the Husky zone. Backhanded pass over to Fortin, and redirected by Walney, not letting that shot get to the net. Another quick pass over to Fortin. And then I step up by Walney, hitting Fortin, not letting him get a shot off. Puck goes on the stick of Clement as he dumps it back down deep into the Jimmy zone. Again, the Jimmy's quickly breaking it out, passing it back on the stick of Fortin, carrying it into the Husky zone. Dropping it back, goes for a nice shot there, missing that up high. Volcano up on the point, passing it back down to Fortin. Fortin receiving a little bit of pressure by Gonzalez there. He's able to still get a pass off. And another shot by the Jimmies, missing the net far to the right. Walney off the boards to get it out of the Husky zone. And Jimmies quickly dump it back into the Husky zone. And Jimmies are able to stop the Huskies from dumping in, but Porzondek still picks it up on the hash marks. Sawinski's able to pick up the puck again down in his own zone and carry it into the Husky zone. Sawinski goes for a backhanded pass, and a nice save by Vucci. After again, that backdoor pass is shot, and Vucci had a nice dive there, putting the puck back into the corner, but the net was knocked off, causing for another quick whistle. Again, that net down on the left side of the ice, on the visitor side, seems to be getting knocked off a lot. Hopefully after the Zamboni, after this period, second period here, we can get the pegs in just a little bit deeper. Zana taking the face off, and Jimmy's come out on top. Sawinski with another quick shot high, and Vucci with a great save. Puck leaves the Husky zone, back onto the stick of the Jimmies, as they quickly bring it right back in. Then, seeing a lot of pressure from Mathana. Mathana fighting, pinning the Jimmy against the board. And a quick step up by the Jimmy's defense, keeping it in the Husky zone. Mathana pass it up to Rizuko. Rizuko again off the boards on the stick of Sawinski, who quickly dumps it right back deep into the Husky zone. Quick step in there by the Jimmies, keeping it in the Husky zone. Goes for a pass, and Brad a nice chip, attempted chip, and Lessard is able to snag that puck for across the blue line. Evans chipping it up the boards over to Gieske. Another quick step up there by the Jimmies defense, keeping it in the zone. Lessard taking the puck in the corner. Martin from nice pressure on Lessard there, able to get the puck right back and get it back down deep into the Jimmy zone. Again, Ware stepping out of the net and passing the puck up to Lessard. Lessard over to Hucklet. Hucklet carrying it behind the Husky net. Look at that pass up in the slot. Quick pass up to Clark. Clark with a shot, and a nice save by Vucci. Loose puck in the slot. Put on stick, back of the stick of the Jimmies. Hucklet pass it over to Clark, and Clark dumped it back down deep in the Husky zone. Again, the puck's running behind the Huskies now on the stick of Lessard. And Mark's able to jump back there, knock the puck off the Jimmies. Still able to get it back for another quick shot on Vucci. Another great save. And the Jimmies holding possession of the puck down the Husky zone. Lessard behind the Husky net. And Vucci's able to knock it out of the slot there before a shot was able to be taken. But again, another attempted pass blocked by Marks, putting it into the glove of Vucci for another quick whistle. Huskies down 0-7 with 7:36 here remaining in the second period. Quick change for the Huskies, putting some fresh legs on the ice. Doing a little bit of a breather there. Porzondak's taking the face off. And the Jimmies are able to win it back. Gonzalez putting some great pressure there, getting it out of the Husky zone by Evans. Gonzalez racing back down deep into the Jimmies zone as Clement flies through the center. See Evans drops on the ice, and a delayed whistle. It's a Husky power play. Got an interference against Evans, giving us the Husky power play, with Sawinski going into the penalty box. Hopefully we can get a quick scoring opportunity here, given with the Huskies power play. I know last weekend with the Husky win, so we're playing at Roosevelt, we got a couple of those great power play scoring opportunities, and hopefully we can capitalize on one. But until then, Johnson had a great chip out of the Jimmy zone, down deep in the Husky zone. Vucci steps out, is able to stop it for Walney. Walney begins flying through center ice. Again, attempts to chip it deep down to the Husky zone. The Jimmy zone, and the Jimmy's Erichuk goes for, again, another icing, flicking over its heads, but hits the rafters above the ice, causing for an out-of-play whistle. 22 seconds out on that Husky power play, so we got a minute 38 remaining, with 6:57 remaining in the second period. Gonzalez taking the face-off down in the Jimmy zone. Hucklack's able to win that puck over. And again, pick the puck right back up. We got a 2-on-1. Hucklack and Fortin. Hucklack bouncing it off his own stick. Goes for a backdoor pass. And the puck is redirected away by Vucci. Fortin passing it back to his own defense. Volcano passing over to his D partner. Quickly dumped back down deep into the Husky zone. Vucci is stopping it behind the net for Porzondak. Porzondak again passing it over to Walney. Only giving himself a little bit of time for an open pass. Walney goes for an attempted pass, pass over Porzondak, who goes for an attempted pass. Missed and stopped by the Jimmies. And again, the Jimmies defense doing a great job of pinching there, doing some smart pinches. Keeping it out of the Jimmy zone. Clark again with another great step up, passing it on to the stick of Lessard. Lessard with a shot on net and a save by Vucci. Vucci quickly drops it back out as the Huskies got 30 seconds remaining on the power play. Walney receiving pressure from Wilson as he rings it behind the boards over to stick of Martin. Puck takes a weird bounce there in the slot, but Martin's able to get it up to Pathana. A quick back check there by Christensen. Able to take it off the stick of Walney. Gets the puck behind the corner. Again, Jimmies are able to keep it down in the Husky zone as Sawinski jumps out of the box for 5-on-5 hockey. Clement's able to get it down into the Jimmies corner. But again, Ware able to get the puck off the glass back out. Johnson coming in, Mark stepping out and knocking that stick right off of Johnson's stick. But Johnson staying in possession down in the Husky zone. Fortin up to Clark. Clark walking the blue line. Passing it back down deep. Clark gets the puck right back for a shot. Right through the 5-hole of Vucci for another Jimmy goal. We got 0-8. The Jimmy's up with 4:46 remaining in the second period. Yeah, Van taking the face-off here for the Jimmies against Wall. Van was able to win the face-off back to his own defense. And a nice step up there by Anderson. But Jimmy's are still able to cross that blue line, go for a backdoor pass, and a nice stop there, pick-off by the Huskies. Italiano is able to get it out of the Husky zone there, but the Jimmies quickly re-enter. You know, the great step up there. Italiano really putting pressure up on the blue line. Quick pass behind the net. Puts the stick up to Erichuk. McDonald picking it up behind the Husky net. Receiving some pressure from Anderson. McDonald carried behind the net, passing out to Erichuk as he barely misses the pass, causing the puck to leave the Husky zone. Cornell passes it up to Venn. Venn carries it back down into the Husky zone and shoots it right into the glove of Vucci for another quick whistle. And both teams getting some fresh legs here. Hopefully we can exit the Husky zone and get a couple of shots on Ware. Gonzalez taking the face off. And Jimmy's come out on top. Sawinski holding it up on the point there. Passing across to his D partner for a quick shot and a nice save by Vucci. Mark's able to again step up. Crom's able to pick it off. And a nice stop there by Gieske with a nice shot block. Put it on the stick of Porzondak. Porzondak goes for a pass over to Gieske. Again, picked off by Thompson. Thompson's able to pass it back to Sawinski. Puts it up to Crom. Barely missed the dump in there. Puts that on the stick of Porzondak. Wilson is able to knock it out of the air there in the slot. Turning around, putting a shot on Vucci, and a great save by Vucci. Mark's putting it up the boards over to the stick of Clement. Clement across the red line, able to get it down deep into the Jamestown zone. Then again, puck goes right back into Swansea's possession as he carries it deep into the Husky zone. Goes for a quick shot and a nice save by Vucci off the blocker. Wilson picks it up on the hash marks. Again, walking the boards there. Pass it up to Sawinski. Sawinski back to Wilson. Backhand pass up to Sawinski for another quick shot. redirected, but still saved by Vucci. Evans is able to go off the glass, getting it out of the Husky zone, but quickly re-enters. Again, Walney's great step up there, getting out of the Husky zone, back down deep into the Jimmy zone. Clark flying behind his own net as he exits his zone and enters the Husky zone, pass up to Hucklack. Hucklack dodges a hit but loses the puck, but they're still able to keep it down in the Husky zone. Lessard chipping it back down deep in the Husky zone. Again, goes for a pass into the slot, stopped. Popoff coming down from the top center, goes for a shot on Vucci, and another save. Get another quick drop pass over to Clark. Clark for a quick shot, redirected away from the net. Hucklack picking it up in the corner, passing behind himself to Lessard. Lessard putting it back up in the slot. Almost a shot, but stopped by the Huskies. Getting the puck being held down in the corner. Goes for a wraparound, and a nice save by Vucci. Got a minute 35 here remaining in the second period. Hopefully Huskies can get a strong finish here and regroup for the third period. Again, puck's being dropped back down in the Husky zone. Stay inside. Got Vucci hanging his head. He seems pretty tired. He is facing a lot of shots here, and in a minute or so, once the box sends me the updated information, I'll let you guys know the shot count and the updated scores and assists. Another shot on Vucci, another quick 1-2 saves. Keeping this a 0-8 game. Again, like I was saying, once I get the information, I'll forward that to you guys. Unfortunately, our speakers here at the rink are broken, so the box is not able to announce the goals and assists scored. So I'll let you guys know the information as soon as I do. Puck's dropped and the puck leaves the Husky zone. But again, Jamestown re-enters. Jamestown's pulls it back out and re-enters. Johnson getting down deep into the Husky zone. Pathana pass over to Marks. Marks off the boards, back into possession of Jamestown. Fortin passing it back down into the corner. Picked off by Pathana, but it quickly goes back onto the stick of Fortin. Fortin holding it on the hash marks, looking for that open pass or a little bit of support. Fortin around Husky defense, receives a hit by Pathana, knocking him almost off the puck. Again, Pathana really grinding behind the net there and getting the puck. Quick pass over to Wall and right back to March. March able to pass it over to Rizzuko. Rizzuko gets it down deep into the Jamestown zone. Ware passing it over to Volcano. Volcano pass it up. So they re-enter the Husky zone. And quick, McDonald's falls as he tries to make a pass, making an incomplete pass. And again, as the final buzzer blows, and with a 0-8 score with Jamestown up. Again, Ware seems to be not really breaking up a sweat there, not receiving too many shots from the Huskies. Again, still being that great play starter down in his own zone. We'll be right back in about 15 minutes, and after those 15 minutes, I'll also give you guys the up-to-date information regarding the shots on goal and who scored the goals and the assists. So thank you guys for tuning in with us, and we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with the start of the third period here in about 2 minutes. Both teams are walking up to the doors, about to skate back out onto the ice. Again, thank you all for tuning in with us right now. Huskies are down 0-8 with a period left to go. Hopefully we can have a strong finish here today and at least sneak a goal or two by Ware. I know he's been not receiving too many shots. Right now the Huskies are only got 5 shots throughout the first 2 periods, and the Jimmies are up to 50. 5-0, which is more than most games you see here in college. So a lot of the guys being from Canada, I think a lot of that skill set comes down with them. Right now for the 6th goal for the Jimmies, we have Berinsky with the 6th goal, assisted by Venn and Fortin. With the 7th goal, we have Sawinski, assisted by Fortin and Dumont. And last but not least, the 8th goal, we got Clark scoring that 8th goal, assisted by McDonald and Christensen. During that period, we also had a tripping against Clement, which unfortunately Jimmy's yet again were able to capitalize on and score another goal against the Huskies. But we got a whole nother period to change this around a little bit. And not only that, but the Huskies pulling Vucci a little of the mercy pull there, putting Piros in that, giving him a good start there. He's only started a couple of games so far. So we had a false drop there by the ref. Center ice, but it's quickly dropped again, and Huskies win it back. Lonely pulling it down in the corner, seeing a little pressure, but able to get it off over to Martin. Martin up to Evans. Evans gets it out, but Jimmy again, or the Jimmies quickly get it. Another dump in, put it right on net and into the glove of Piros. Again, we got a lot of people tuning in from out of town. A lot of Jamestown people. We have 2 people watching in from Calgary. We have Steve Sr. and Brett Crown. Thank you guys for joining us. We have Johnson coming in, passing it back door to Fortin. Fortin put it back down in the corner over to Johnson. Johnson back to Fortin, and the pass is picked off by Martin. Martin passing up to Evans, puts over to Wall. Wall, the backhand pass over to Martin. Martin off the boards, back on the stick of Dumont. Ware chipping it up the boards with Wall knocking it with his feet. And again, Dumont able to pull it off of him and pass it behind the net. Jamestown quickly regroups and carries it into the Husky zone. Another quick shot on net. Not being an incomplete shot. Sorry if Piros not receiving that shot. Hucklack holding it on the hash marks. Put it off the boards to himself. And we got a delayed penalty here against the Huskies, being the 4th one of this period. Again, for the 2nd period goals assist, we got the 6th goal being from Berinsky, assisted by Venn and Fortin. The 7th goal being by Sawinski, assisted by Fortin and Dumont, and the 8th goal is being scored by Clark, being assisted by McDonald and Christensen. We got Gieske going to the box for the interference hit there. And we ended off the 2nd period there with the Huskies having a total of 5 shots, and the Jamestown Jimmies having a total of 50. With that, we pulled out Vucci, and we put in Piros, so Piros is facing off against the Jamestown Jimmies right now. And so far he has had a couple of great saves. Gonzalez taking the face-off down the Husky zone. And then again, we got another quick whistle there by the ref. We had a bench minor for the Huskies, giving the Huskies another penalty, making this a 5-on-3. Puck being dropped down in the Husky zone. Yeah, Mr. Robert Hall, thanks for tuning in with us from Dryden, Ontario. Sawinski gets the puck up on the point, passes down, and receives the puck right back. Sawinski passing to his D partner, goes for a quick shot over to Fortin. Fortin, goes to the backdoor pass. A nice stick by Gonzalez, knocking it off the Jimmy stick. Sawinski gets the puck back up, pass it down to the corner, and a nice save by Piros. Loose puck being a great save by Piros, but the ref a little preemptively blew the whistle there. Gunner able to knock off 20 seconds there off the clock, with each penalty only having a minute 40 left. Gonzalez with a nice dump off the draw there, getting it out of the Husky zone. Getting the puck quickly, gets turned right back around, getting it carried back down into the Husky zone. Get the Jimmy swinging behind, pass up to Venn. Venn passes to his D partner, Sawinski. Sawinski for a quick shot, directed away from the net by Gonzalez. Gonzalez putting some great pressure there. Fight it off between two guys. Jimmy come out on top again. Gets carried behind the net for a missed pass over to Sawinski. Sawinski passes his D partner over to Fortin. Fortin back to Sawinski. Sawinski goes for, again, that backdoor pass, and it is missed. And we got the net knocked off down on the Huskies side again. Giving the Huskies another fresh breath of air as the Jimmies get a quick change. Again, just 57 seconds remaining on the Husky penalty kill of 5-3 hockey. The Huskies being down two guys. Gonzalez, again, trying to get that face-off out. Puck goes up to Wilson. Wilson passes deep partner. He passes deep back to Wilson. Wilson goes for a quick shot, and a nice save by Piros. Got Walney flying up, crossing the red line. As puck gets, again, turned around back into the Jimmy's possession and carried into the Husky zone. Puck gets carried behind the net by Vacano. Pass up to Wilson. Wilson passing across, back to Clark. Clark in, passing it deep, and right back up to Clark. Clark over to Wilson. Back to Clark, a lot of back and forth passing here, and Wilson gets it right back. And nice step up there by Evans, getting it, again, out of the Husky zone off the 5-on-3. Bergson pass it over to Wilson. Wilson goes for a quick shot, missing the net to the left. Get a quick pass over to Wilson. Wilson, quick shot, and a quick goal with just as the penalty kill minutes countdown off the clock, right as the guys are stepping out of the box there for the Huskies. He's able to sneak right under the glove of Piros, making this a 0-9 game. And a great goal there by Wilson. Puck's being dropped again at center ice after the 9th goal for the Jimmies. Jimmies win the face-off again, getting back down deep into the Husky zone. Great hit there by Bry behind the net, but Jimmies hold possession. Again, dumping back in. March passing up to Rizzuto, back on the stick of Volcano. Volcano, again, putting it out, and the puck flies over the glass. Nearly missing two people, but it does go out of play for another out-of-play whistle. We got 16-27 remaining up in the third period. We got Devin Orr watching from Red Lake, Ontario. Thanks for tuning in with us as the third period counts down. Huskies were able to win the face-off back. And again, putting some great pressure on McDonald, but McDonald's able to get it back to his defense and again get it back into the Husky zone. Gieske with a nice fake pass there, puts it off the boards up to Rizzuto. Rizzuto holding the puck again, going off the boards with a Pathana. Pathana goes to kick it up, and it is stopped by the Jimmies. And Fortin passing it up to McDonald. McDonald getting it down into the Husky zone. Quick pass by Gieske there off the boards, goes back on the stick of Weitzel. Weitzel holds it up high, and it is stopped by Dumont. Martin flies across, attempts to keep it in, and is knocked out by McDonald. And he gets stuck at the ref's feet, putting it back into the possession of the Huskies. Wall flying across center ice. Able to get into the zone. We got a penalty against the Jimmies here, giving this a Husky power play. Good call as Wall was flying through center ice. We had a hooking. by Sawinski. Giving us a Husky power play. Hopefully we can capitalize here. We do have a decently good history with our power plays, and hopefully we can capitalize on that. Gonzalez taking the face off, down in the Jimmy zone. Gonzalez wins it back, pass over to Walney. Walney back to Brzondak. Brzondak with great chip in, but the Jimmies are still able to ice it back down to the Husky zone. And Lessard passing it through center ice, and a great save by Piros. After a quick pass over to Hucklet. Brzondak's able to pull it back and turn around, pass over to Walney, giving themselves a little bit more room and time. And Evans skating through the player, able to pull that puck off. And pulling it behind the Husky net, giving, again, himself some more room and time for the Huskies to set up their power play. Evans over to Wall. Wall carrying across the red line, dumping it down deep into the zone. And Ware, again, being that active goalie, goes to ring it around the glass, getting it out of Jimmy's zone, but unfortunately went a little too high with it, hitting the net above the glass for another out-of-play whistle. We got B. Wilson watching from Castlegar, BC. Thanks for tuning in with us. I hope I said that town name right. And Jimmy's getting another quick dump in down deep in the Husky zone. Puro stopping it behind the net, passing over to Marsh. Marsh again receiving a little bit of pressure by the Jimmies there as they pass it out to Cornell. Cornell going off the boards, dumping it down deep into the Husky zone. We got 45 seconds remaining on the Husky power play here as Martin flies up through the slot and out of the Husky zone. Martin passes it across over to Pathana. Pathana with a quick shot and a nice stop by Volcano. Not letting it get to the net. Quick pass up to Marsh, an attempted one-timer. Barely missed the net, but does put it right back into the slot. Unfortunately, only the Jimmies were there. Marks passed it across over to Martin. Martin going back over to Pathana. Pathana with a shot, and a nice save by Ware. Again, Marks passed it over to Martin. Martin chipping it back down deep into the Jimmy zone. And Jimmys are able to step up and get another icing against the Huskies as they get fresh legs out. And the end of the Husky power play, putting it back to 5-on-5. Marsh again receiving a lot of pressure down in the corner. Johnson's able to pick it off, and Marsh with a great stick there, knocking it right off a Johnson stick. Evans quick step up there, getting it out of the zone, but quickly Christensen picks it back up, gives it an open shot on net. Goes for a pass instead, it's barely missed. And a great play there by the Huskies, not letting the puck get to the net. A nice step up there by the Jimmy's defense, keeping it in the zone. And a quick pass to Johnson. Johnson again carrying it back down deep in the Husky zone. Johnson passed it across for a one-timer. And it sneaks again right by Piros, making this a 0-10 game, with the Jimmies up. Again, Jimmies really playing a great game today. They seem to be very fluent in their passing, as the Huskies played them out in North Dakota last time they faced each other last year. So the Jimmies had to make their trek from North Dakota, about a nice 18-hour bus drive. They're still able to come out flying. Again, Jimmy's carrying it, dumping it back down deep into the Husky zone, put it into the corner. And again, Jimmy's going back down into the Jimmy zone. A lot of back and forth here between the two teams in the neutral zone, but Pathana's able to fly through the center, get it back down deep into the Jimmy zone. Jimmy's, again, quickly start breaking it out. Passing across. Bergensen carrying down the Husky zone for a shot. Nipping the net in the top left, making this a 0-11 game. Again, the Huskies and Jimmy's lining up at center ice with 12:04 remaining in the third period. Martin taking the face-off against Venn. Venn wins the puck back. And the Jimmies again quickly dump back down deep in the Husky zone. Martin picking the puck up in the corner. Pass it off the net, takes a weird bounce, goes into the slot. It's a quick shot on net and a great save by Piros. Bry picks it up in the corner, pass on it across over to Marks. Marks goes off the boards over to Martin. Martin flying up. And nice job keeping the puck away there from the Jimmies. Sorry. Puck goes to Venn. Venn for a quick pass. Being incomplete without a shot getting off. Venn passes behind and back down to the Huskies corner behind the net. The puck going up to Popoff. Popoff with a quick slap shot. Directed high into the net above the glass, causing for another out of play whistle. Thanks for tuning in, Miss Karen McDonald from Brandon, Manitoba. Again, I apologize if I'm butchering that name. Volcano gets it up on the point, passing it down to Wilson. Great pressure there by Gonzalez, putting Wilson against the boards as Anderson was able to come through and get it out of the Husky zone. Kieske gets it down to the corner, passing behind the net over to Porzondek. Porzondek goes to chip it behind him, and is picked off by Wilson, get it back down deep in the Husky zone. Kieske, again, going off the glass to get it out of the Husky zone. Porzondek flying through the center ice, trying to get a touch on the puck, but it still leaves the Jimmy zone. Does get dumped right back in. Anderson, again, getting it back behind the net. Great step up there by Clement, knocking it right off the stick of the Jimmies, and carrying it into the corner. Holding it in the corner. And again, Jimmies are able to swing through and get it out of the zone, put it back down deep into the Husky zone. And an icing call, causing the puck going to be dropped back down in the Jimmy zone. Got 10-10 here remaining in the third period. Martin taking the face-off against Hucklock. Martin wins the face-off back, puts it on stick of Wolney. Wolney for a quick shot, and a nice save by Wilson. Gives the Huskies another shot, another great save by Ware. A great step up there by Wolney. Knocking the Jimmies off his feet. Putting the puck back into the Huskies possession, which quickly goes back to the Jimmies. Jimmies with a quick shot, again hitting the net top left, making this a 0-12 game with 9:47 remaining in the third. Yeah, the Huskies seem to be pretty tired out here. A lot of them with their heads hung low. Catching their breathers. Pathana taking the face off against Christensen. Pathana's able to win the puck back to Anderson. Anderson, the backhanded pass off the boards, but Sawinski's able to quickly step up. And some great pressure there by both Anderson and Rizuko, not letting it get into the Husky zone. Dumont getting the puck back on the blue line. Pass it to Johnson. Again, Pathana flying through center ice, knocking it off his stick. Does quickly get dumped back down deep into the Husky zone. Marks holding the puck down in the corner, fighting off two Jimmies. And again, great pressure by Rizuko, knocking the puck out of the Husky zone. Gets quickly carried back in by Fortin. And Anderson with a great hit, knocking Fortin off the puck. Again, Marks picking it up in the corner with a hit from behind, and Marks is down on the ice. You see the coaches and the medic quickly going over to Marks as the lane face down and not moving. We do see his feet moving a little bit there. Turning Marks over, we see both of his feet moving. As the medic, I'm assuming, is telling him to move his feet. We see that that is great news so far. Waiting to see if we see any response of Marks. He's pulling a leg up, moving both his feet and his arms, it seems, which is all great news. And it was a pretty dirty hit from behind there against Marks by the Jimmies. Got Mark sitting up there. Just waiting to kind of see what's happening here. We do have 9:01 left on the clock here at the Huskies, still down 0-12 in the Jamestown Jimmies. You see Marks back up on his feet down on the hash marks there as he's getting moved over to the boards. Bit of a scare there for Marks. We do see him stepping onto the bench and off to the side there and walking on his own, which is a very, very good thing to see after that hit. And he got the refs talking, trying to figure out what's going to happen with Johnson after that hit. I believe it was Johnson. Sorry, Barsinski going to the box. And we do see Mark standing up on his own, luckily. I got word that Marks is fine, that he is standing on his own. I had one of the teammates run over here and tell the stands that he is okay. Thank God for that. This is a huge tribute to the Huskies. It'd be a very tough loss. Hopefully he'll be back here. We do see him taking some time off on the side there, talking to the medic. Mark's really working hard this game. He's got an ice pack over on his head. I think he hit his head on the boards or glass, but luckily he is okay. Thank God. Gonzalez taking the face-off down in the Jimmy zone with a 1 minute or one-man advantage for the next 5 minutes. Horzondek gets the puck up on the point and quickly dumps it back down deep. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we did get word that Marks is fine. He's up and walking on his own. I think he just got hit in the head a little hard, maybe knocked him out for a second, but he is up on his own and does not seem to be injured. Huckleck goes to carry it in. It's a great back check there by Gonzalez, knocking it right off his stick. Quick pass over to Walney as Walney carries across the blue line, dumps it down deep into the Jimmy zone. Again, Ware passing off the glass over the stick of Horzondek. Horzondek, quick shot. Ware putting it back into the corner. And Huckleck going deep, and a nice step up there by Walney, keeping it in the Jimmy zone. Wall passing up to Gonzalez, right back to Wall. Wall steps in, goes for a quick slap shot, right into the glove of Ware. Again, hopefully Marks will be okay for tomorrow's game. Again, he is a huge part of this team. He is really a rock back down in the zone and up on the point. Hopefully we can get him back in business soon. Like I said, he is walking and talking okay. He is walking up and standing on his own. Nice dump by Jimmy's, getting it back down deep in the Husky zone as we got 3:56 remaining up on the Husky power play. Martin stopping behind the net and again starting to gain some speed. And he passed over to Pathana. Quick step up there by the Jimmies. Puts it back behind the net of the Huskies. Fortin goes to pass up in the slot. And a quick 1-2 saves by Piros as Martin dives across to get Fortin off him. It goes for 1 or 2 jabs. Thanks for your concern, Mr. Gord Assey. Like I said, does seem to be okay and up and walking. Lester taking the face-off down in the Husky zone against Pathana, and Pathana wins it off. But Lard, again, Jimmy's able to get it back down deep into the Husky zone. Bry breaking it out, pass over to Gonzalez, or Martin. Martin pass it over to Pathana. Pathana racing up and dumping it back down deep into the Jimmy zone. Again, Ware bringing it off the glass, getting it right back out of his zone. Martin picking it back up on the blue line, passing off the boards over to Clement. Clement passing across to Gieske. Gieske shooting off the boards back down deep. Ware with a nice backhanded pass, giving the Jimmies the opportunity to dump it back down deep into the Husky zone. Walney passing up to Evans. Evans dropping it back to Walney. Walney off the boards onto the, barely missing the stick of Evans. And Gonzalez able to skate through. And Dumont, a nice touch there. Again, icing it, but pin it back onto the stick of Walney. Walney drops it back over to Porzondek. Porzondek passes the neutral ice back on the stick of Dumont, who quickly dumps it back deep into the Husky zone. Piros stopping the puck for Porzondek behind the net. Porzondek packs that up to Wall. Wall carries it into the Jimmy zone and is able to hold it in the corner. Gonzalez coming in to support him, help him out. Pass off the board over Porzondek. Porzondek up to Walney on the point. Walney for a quick shot, redirected by the Jimmies, and is iced back down. We got just 2 minutes here remaining in the Husky power play, with just under 6 minutes remaining in the third period. Porzondek dumping it back down deep into the Jimmy zone, with Ware again putting it off the glass up to Fortin. Son is able to pick the puck off of Fortin, pass over to Porzondek. Again, Porzondek with a nice shot on net. Quickly again, played by Ware, dumping it right back out of the zone. Walney chips it right in the stick, right in the chest of Lester. Is able to get again possession of the puck and pass it over to Porzondek. Porzondek pass it across slice over to Pathana. Pathana carrying it down into the Jimmy zone, goes for a shot on net, barely missing it to the left. Porzondek, another great shot, and almost redirected by Evans, unfortunately redirecting it away from the net. Clement goes for a pass down low, back onto the stick of Popoff, who ices it right back down deep in the Husky zone. We got just under a minute here remaining on the Husky power play. Evans had a nice chip in, getting it back down deep into the Jimmy zone. The puck goes right on the Rizzuto's stick for a great shot on net and a save by Ware. And the puck gets rung around and back down deep into the Husky zone. Bry picking it up down behind the Husky net. And pass over to Gieske. Gieske with a great deke there, getting it out of the Husky zone and pass it up to Rizzuto. Rizzuto carries across the blue line, goes to pass it up in the slot, being picked off by Johnson. Johnson at the breakaway, and the shot, and a nice save by Piros. Lester goes for a pass to Johnson, barely missing the stick, putting it right on the stick of Gieske. Gieske passing it off behind the net, and to Martin. Again, picked off by the Jimmies, getting them possession down in the Husky zone. Again, puck gets pinned down in the corner as it's back to 5-on-5 hockey for the two teams and 3:48 remaining on the clock. Jimmies come out on top after a little cluster, go for a shot high above the net. Barely missed the net, but it hits the net above the glass for an out-of-play whistle. Again, we got 3:41 remaining here in the third period with the Huskies down 0-12. We got Christensen with the penalty for the Jimmies there that we just got off of for the 5-on-5. The hit from behind against Marks. Puck goes up to Dumont, passes his D partner, pass it across for a shot, and a nice save by Piros, putting it right into his glove. The puck's being dropped back down in the Husky zone still, with Crom taking the face-off for the Jimmies, and Weitzel for the Huskies. Again, another shot from the point, right into the chest of the Piros for another great save, keeping it out of the net. And Jimmy's getting some fresh legs out as the Huskies stay the same. Well, that Porzondak hopping out as a fresh defense. And Weitzel taking the face-off for the Huskies against Crom for Jamestown. Jamestown wins the face-off again. Pass it up to the point. Popoff going for a shot right into the glove of Piros. Another quick save with 3:15 now up on the clock. Again, Popoff gets the puck up on the point for another great shot. And another great save by Piros doing the splits there. Popoff passes over to his partner. Again, goes for another shot on net, gets redirected away from the net. And Piros, a quick glove cover, knocked out from his glove. Another quick save by Piros. Porzondak's able to get a touch on it. Tries to ice it out. It's stopped by Popoff. Popoff passed down to McDonald. McDonald splits it down into the Husky corner. Another puck goes up to Clark. Clark across to Popoff. Popoff back to Clark. Hold it up top. And brings it back down low. Skating it down low. Bring it behind the Husky net. Again, Clark bringing it back up to the point. Passing it back down to the hash marks. And Venn, again, gets it behind the net over to McDonald. McDonald back up to Popoff. Popoff across the ice. Over to Clark. Clark again dumping it down deep to behind the net. Puck goes back up to Clark. Clark for a pass over to Popoff. Popoff for a quick shot. And hits Weitzel. Not letting it get to the net. Again, Piros dives for it. This puck whizzes by him. Popoff gets the puck back on the point. Pass over to Clark, who is able to knock it in deep of the zone with a skate. Puck finally leaves the Husky zone, but quickly re-enters as Popoff brings it in and stops on the point. Popoff dropping it back down to Brzezinski. He passes it behind the net. Evans, again, bringing it behind the net onto the stick of the Jimmies as they skate it out wide. Again, Brzezinski passing it back down to the hash marks, passing in front of the net. Tries to go for a wrap around, stopped by Weitzel, but again, 1-2 shots. Piros saves for another whistle for 1:25 remaining up on the clock. We got a quick whistle as Piros had his helmet off there, but is quickly back on, and Hucklock taking the face-off against Martin. Again, another open shot by Hucklock, barely redirected away by Anderson. Again, another pass up to by Volcano, skips over a stick and leaves the Husky zone. Lessard able to drop it down the boards. Goes for a backdoor shot. Barely missing a stick. Eric Truck passing again to the slot. And nice pressure there by Evans. Not letting him get a clean touch on the puck. Bergen, again, drop back to Eric Truck, who passes it back. Another quick shot on Pierce, redirected away from the net by Anderson. Horton keeping it down in the corner there as the clock hits 30 seconds for left in the period. Great pressure by, again, Anderson. The puck still goes back down deep in the Husky zone. A great jump across the crease there as the pass went right back door. And a backdoor shot against Piros, but he's able to, again, jump across and snag that puck out of the air. Got 17.3 seconds remaining here in the third period. Weitzel taking the face off for the Huskies down in the Husky zone. Another shot on net, and a save by Piros, redirecting it into the corner. Dumont gets the puck up on the point, and again shoots it right into the glove of Piros for another quick whistle with just 3 seconds remaining. And they decided to run the clock as it is 0-12. Giving the Jamestown Jimmies a win of 0-12. So unfortunately, the Huskies not being able to score one tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank all of you for tuning in with us here today. And I hope you, again, return back at 5 o'clock p.m. Central Time tomorrow for Game 2 between the two teams. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And we'll be back tomorrow with Game 2.